Alright, so here's what I've been up to. Trying to come up with a new design here. I've seen so many people do kamikaze flags. I wanted something a little bit different, so I kind of took the old school mini truck thing and turned them into tribals a little bit. So basically, after I sanded this whole hood down, everything's sanded, we got a few cut throughs, no big deal. I'm going to actually have some other paint come in to touch this up if need be. What I did here is I'm going to do this as backwards. Instead of masking to paint, I'm going to mask what I don't want to be painted. So I've actually gone, the hood's kind of tricky on the XB because I wanted it to run off of the line, which is right here. This is not straight. It looks straight until you put a measuring tape to it. I was going out about 16 inches, and by the time I was done, I had it like a huge curve on the hood. So what I did was, and you have to do this by eye, you get it kind of set where you want it. So I measured in my 16 inches and then pulled it straight down. Got it to where I wanted it, then came over here, did the same thing. You can see there's a blue tape right here. Now, if you do it so that you've got the 12 inches that go from here to here, from at the top and the bottom, you then have a goofy line here. So you have to basically flub it. You got to play with it, this line, to get it so that it looks good here. And then you have to play with this line so that it looks good here. So basically I did all that. Then I did my design. You can kind of see the black is what's going to stay. This is going to actually be the hood color, camo green. And then the white is all going to come out. Now I've already gone and cut all this. I wanted to show you guys that, but obviously I can't do that when I've only got one hand to hold the camera. So I've already cut it. It's going to be a little interesting here because it makes it a lot harder to cut when you don't get to cut it and go as you want. So we're going to have a few spots that aren't perfect. But now, the other thing I want you to keep in mind when you're doing this is that your design is not final, right? What I've got is going to be, there'll be pinstriping between all this. Now I know you guys will see you've seen cars with pinstriping, and it makes it look kick-ass and more three-dimensional, but it also does another thing. It makes it a lot easier on the painter when he's doing stuff, because if there's small mistakes and whatnot, you can fix it. There's no such thing as a perfect paint job. And even the best guys, although I don't know, Mike Lavalier, I don't think I've seen him make a mistake yet, but he just might be really good at hiding them. God knows he's freaking incredible. Anyway, so now you can kind of see as I go here. Strangely enough, this is working really well. I like to use transfer tape like this because I'm a lot better at doing stuff with a pencil than I am with tape. I can do it, but it doesn't always come out the way I want. So I came across this, and I've seen some other painters do it. Makes it a little easier. Now, when you're doing stuff, you're going to have times when, I don't know, I'll sit here and draw all the time, and as I'm doing it, I'll end up getting more ideas. So you can kind of see from here, I brought this out. That wasn't an original part of the design. There's another one right there. That's why, you see these guys that do these renderings and whatnot. They're great, but my problem is my brain's always going. So what I come up with in the end is not always what I begin with. Hopefully you guys can see this. It's harder than hell to look through this camera. and do this at the same time. But I am learning here. Alright. I'm gonna tell you what, man, I totally like having people watch because that went a hell of a lot easier than I expected it to. Now, it's really hard. I know a lot of people don't see it, and it's hard for me to understand that people can't see what's going on here. I always say, and people think I'm crazy, that, you know, the car tells me what it wants. I just have to listen to it. See, I finally said something, and now I have to find my knife. Anyway, I'll find it here in a minute. Okay, where's that? Probably rolled off on the floor just like that pencil did. Nope, put it on the workbench. All right, back to it. I'm going to come back here. I missed one. Okay, so there we got it. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's a little hard with it being black. Now, like I said, everything that's cut out here and is green is going to go primer. So that kind of gives you an idea. We're looking at this backwards. I'm going to do that. Then the green, what is black here, will stay this color green. I'll then pinstripe this with a lime green, which will really make it pop. And I'm also going to come back with pearl and give it some dimension with the airbrush. I'll show you how to do that. You mix some pearl with some 500 and intercoat clear, and then you just spray the edges. This basically will give it some dimension so that it doesn't look just flat. So there's where I am now. Looks kind of cool. Like I said, you got to keep in mind a lot of what you're seeing here is not going to be the finished product, and you got to think as wide as this is here, it's actually going to end up a little wider when you're pinstriped, so it'll change it. You know, my points from here, I can bring it way out, which is really going to make it dramatic. So, but you can kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like. And this is where we're going to go. All right, guys.